Hello, my name is Peta Higgins and I'm from Perth, Western Australia. I have been using the Transformational Wellness Program for approximately 18 months, 2 years, and feel amazing, absolutely amazing. My life has changed incredibly. My fear of all things has reduced. I can do things that I was held back so much by fear. Fear of doing things for myself, fear of going to the shops, fear of meeting new people, fear of just stepping out. I think it just held me back in my life.
Yeah. It's because it's been a while now since we've been able to get rid of that fear outside of your brain and enable you to your quality of life to improve. But I know when you first came to see me, Peter, your fears and your anxieties were really overwhelming, and it's stopping you from having a really good quality of life.
Oh, absolutely. Everything, when I think back, everything I did was fear-based. I was fearful, and not only what I did in my daily life, like interacting with other people, but fear of even going to Friday night. Had this fear of going to bed, fear of being on my own, fear of all sorts of things. So it does. Your quality of life is non-existent really. Even as I left today, I was thinking about it and thinking about, you know, my fears, and I had to go back and get a tissue, and that was a fear that it's controlling. Everything controls your life, because that's a security thing. It's like I always had a problem with a runny nose when I was a kid, so there was fear, like, what if I don't have a tissue? So that is ingrained so much so that as I leave, the last thing I do when I leave to go out is to get a tissue. Well, probably won't use it, but yeah, they're the things that you don't realise that control your life so much.
And so your fears were really, really deep-seated from childhood.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and from as far back as I can remember, as far back as probably 3 or 4 years, and you know, to think that I've carried that my whole life, and it stopped me doing things. It stopped me going out and meeting people. It stopped me, you know, even the fear of travel. Like, I remember when I was working and people around me were going on overseas trips, and I remember saying to a customer once, I don't want to travel, and he said, why not? And I said, I'm too scared. What if something happens? You know, and so you just wonder how much of fear has stopped me doing so much in my life.
And so it's actually, so it all came back to then your brain would be negative.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So everything was negative. Negative about the way you think about people, about the way you look at a situation. It was always the negative before the positive. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So far that you know, like now, we're planning a trip to America. I mean,
fantastic.
How positive is that?
How good's that?
And for me, that's huge. That's huge. I've just completed a TAFE course where I've decided I'm going to do it, so I've gone and done it. And you know, like, that probably may or may not have happened, but you know, like, the fear is not there anymore. It's not the what ifs and the
and that anxiousness that kept coming up as part of the fear as well.
Yeah, fear of what people, you know, what do people think of me? Well, now it's like, well, you know, I am who I am, and you know, if you don't like me, that's your problem, to a degree.
Yeah, so that's really awesome. But you know, touching back on that trip, you think that you were scared to even go overseas because of the fear and the negativity that surrounded going overseas.
Oh, absolutely.
And now you're embracing it. And it's been, we started work with you, you started your first session nearly 2 years ago, and you've been without fear for all that time since. Yeah. So it works, doesn't it?
Absolutely, it works. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you know, probably the first realisation was when I went to the shopping centre to meet a girlfriend for lunch, and we had decided to meet, and there were two Miss Mauds in the same shopping centre, so we'd mixed up which Miss Mauds we were going to meet at. So I was standing out the front of the one that I thought we were meeting at, waiting for her, and normally I would be standing there thinking, oh my God, she's running late, what if we mix things up, I wonder if I've got the time wrong, I wonder if I've got the day wrong, why is everyone looking at me? That fear would have just been terrible, just standing waiting. But I wasn't. I was just standing there thinking, oh well, you know, she's running late, whatever. And in the end, we had mixed the directions up, the arrangements up, and we did meet and we had a lovely lunch. But that was the first time that I realised that that fear that I'd lived with all my life was not there anymore.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. That was really awesome.
And how has transformational wellness changed your life?
In every way. In every way. Like it's sort of hard to explain. I'm happier with me, as you know. There's no. I mean, you can't change who you are, and I am who I am, and I'll always be. And I guess fear has moulded my personality to a degree where I'm a yes person. I tend to want to please people. That's part of my personality. But I'm happy with who I am. I'm not controlled by the fear anymore. The fear is in perspective. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, like, just everything, dealing with people, talking to people, stepping out of my comfort zone isn't as hard as what it was. Like, you know, even to go to the first day of TAFE, because you don't know where to go, you know. Think little things that to other people they don't even think about it. People take things like that in their stride. They don't realise that what fear can do to you. It's just so crippling.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And would you recommend the Transformational Wellness Anxiety Fear program?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And not only the fear, any program, transformational wellness for anything, for anybody, for everybody. Not just fear, not just for fear, for everything, for everything. It's just amazing, absolutely incredible.
Well, thank you so much, Peta. And for just one more thing, the quality of your life has improved enormously. So you've actually said that.
Absolutely.
How's your relationships improved?
Yeah, they have with hubby, with the kids. I think it's just. And with friends, I think I can be who I am and not fear that you know, you'll lose your friends, or you'll. There was always a fear that, you know, if you say the wrong thing, that someone's going to say or do something, they're going to leave you, or they won't like you anymore. You know, it's just so. It's hard to explain actually how the relationship with other people that you have is you always want to be liked, so you're always trying to be. Sometimes the person that you're not like, you're putting on a front. That's it. You know, like you try and be happy, you try and be a nice person because you want people to like you. But now I can be who I am and know that if someone doesn't like me, then that's okay. Yeah. You know, that's okay.
You're so much happier in your own self.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so much stronger and so much more confident and confident as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really exciting.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I just want to keep improving. I'm not I'm not happy to just do that. I want to just keep going and going and going, feel better and better and better.
Yeah,
so,
good on you. Well, thank you so much for sharing all
thank you.
your thoughts, and I know somebody will be watching this and get so much value out of it.
Well, I hope so. I hope that, you know, there's lots of people out there who have fear, and until you actually get rid of it, you don't realise how controlling it is.
Yeah.
So I can see with me and feel with me, there's a huge difference. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.